Hello, sorry for putting this in portrait mode. It should be in landscape, but whatever. People view everything on their cell phones anyway. So I heard that the new Death Note manga is coming out for the first time in 12 years. I don't know if anybody's seen Death Note or any fans of that anime or manga, but I watched the anime week to week when it was coming out, and I was a huge fan of Death Note. Big fan. But I wasn't a fan of the way the series ended. Quite frankly, and pardon my French, it was a piece of shit and it was a cop out, and whoever wrote it probably, regrets that decision because there's no way you could be proud of that ending for that anime. So I have another idea for the ending of Death Note. And it's something I've been saying for years and years and years and years when I was an undergrad watching it, or I think I just graduated and I watched it. But here's my ending for Death Note. So, spoilers ahead. If anybody's watched it, and they don't want the plot spoiled for them or whatever, then stop watching, this video. But here's my idea for the ending of Death Note, okay? So, for those of you who have watched the show, you remember in the beginning when Light gets the notebook, right? And he meets the Shinigami. I forget his name. Was it Ray or something? I forget. The leathery guy who looks like the Batman who laughs and likes apples. The Shinigami laughs when he sees Light because above everybody's head is the Shinigami can see the day and time that they're going to die, right? And there's also another interesting plot point in Death Note is that those who use the ledger will neither go to heaven or hell when they use it. They will be stuck in that kind of purgatory area and they are doomed to become a Shinigami themselves. Now, the biggest plot point of Death Note is the fact that Light is always 10 steps ahead of everybody. He's a brilliant person. Some people are born like that. You will not be able to outwit them. You will not be able to outsmart them. Shanghai Knights is a perfect example of how you beat somebody that you can't beat. You got the guy who plays CIA agent in the beginning of freaking The Dark Knight Rises. He's also Peter Baelish in Game of Thrones. He's fighting with Jackie Chan, and this guy's this like English lord, and he's amazing with swords. There's no way Jackie Chan can beat him in a sword fight. So how does Jackie Chan beat him? He cuts the bridge that they're on and basically hopes that the fall will kill the guy and then he'll somehow survive the fall. And it works. All right? Terrible example, but it's what I'm getting at is that like there are some people that you're just not going to beat them at their own game. And that's the whole point of Death Note is that you're not going to beat Light at a game of wits. He gets close. L gets close, but he ends up losing. So then L has these two little proteges who are just these complete lamos, and they somehow manage to beat Light, but not because they outwit Light or not because they outsmart him, but because Light has his character written to be completely different in the last like 2 episodes of the anime. All of a sudden, he starts acting erratically. He starts making mistakes. He starts acting crazy. They don't give any intimation that that's happening to his character throughout the series. It doesn't happen. He's always been cool, calm, collected, and in control. Light ends up losing. He gets shot. He bleeds out and he dies. Very crappy, dumb, idiotic, moronic ending. If you like that ending, you're stupid. I'm sorry. It's a dumb ending and you're a dumb person for liking it. And you should feel bad because it's a dumb opinion. Here's my ending. And if you're getting all upset about it, listen to my ending first, you dungo, okay? Light wins. Light wins. He beats the L proteges. No one can stand in his way. And he basically becomes the god of the world. He can control the world's economy. He can strategically assassinate political leaders. And the world kind of becomes this weird utopia. And Light's high on the hog. So a few years later, after he bests these little guys, he's sitting there, smiling at his accomplishments. Then he coughs. He looks into his hand, there's blood in it. Years go by, his hair starts falling out. He tries every treatment in the world, but he dies of cancer. Cut to Day of Judgment. Light's there. There's a line. People going to hell. Every bad person that he's killed in the beginning of the series is on that line going to hell. And there's a line of people going to heaven. Every good person that he had to murder with the Death Note in order to protect his identity is going to heaven. Light's in the middle. He's not going anywhere. Time lapse of the two lines for years and years and years, centuries maybe. People passing as we see Light eventually transform into a completely downtrodden, miserable Shinigami. And that's how the fucking show should have ended. Because it wraps up the question of why that Shinigami was laughing when he saw the way that he died. And it wraps up that whole plot point of, hey, if you use this Death Note, you're never, ever, 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 ever going to be happy. And Light is left with the question. And he knows the answer to it. And it's, was it worth it? No, it was fucking not. Because none of us escape death. None of us do. So you got to make sure that your life is fucking worth it. Way better than, oh, all of a sudden he's acting erratically and he gets shot. So if they're remaking the Death Note manga, maybe fucking call me before you come up with an ending. Okay? You dickbags? Thanks.